Hi guys, I am Vitold, and if now is the time for you to learn as much about the Ducati DesertX as possible, then you are in the right place, as in this video I am presenting you my summary of pros and cons of this bike. So in other words, what is great and what's bad about it. I've ridden all of its competitors and also all bikes from the large adventure motorcycle segment, so we are all in the right place when it comes to gathering conclusions and comparing these motorcycles. Despite this, keep in mind that we are all different riders. We may like our machines for different reasons. So in the end of the day, go and try yourselves the bikes that you are interested in and that you have shortlisted. Here I am going to help you pinpoint areas that you may want to pay extra attention to if they turn out to be important also to you. So let's go and start with pros. So points representing the awesome stuff that is there in Ducati DesertX, and the first of them is comfortable seat and suspension. Both of these two make sitting on a DesertX feel like being in a nice place, and I personally very much like that. It is a good choice for comfort-oriented riders, while you may still further adjust its suspension. It is a good start. And coming from me, it is a very strong point, as my bar is set pretty high when it comes to sitting solutions. Well, check out the electric office chair. This is called a 7G11. You can find them at powerseats.eu. Super cool stuff if you want to take care of your back and not suffer when sitting at this. Everything here is adjustable. The second fun thing is the engine of a Ducati that has a lot of power and torque that may excite. It's actually one of only two motorcycles in the segment that are explosive enough to be able to raise adrenaline levels thanks to their accelerations. That applies to me, and I do like that. It's not all red roses though, and you will see that in a moment. But in the meantime, let's head to the third pro. That is an awesome Mercedes G-Class-like or G-Wagon-like look of the DesertX. It does look cool, doesn't it? It is a very subjective area to talk about, but I like it, and I know that many of you guys also find it appealing because of how it looks. The style is unique with those double LED daytime lights. Now moving to the fourth pro, this is a well-handling motorcycle at all speeds except for crawling or simply the lowest speeds. It could be reacting quicker to changing directions, but it's fine considering how its competitors do here. And this, combined with high levels of comfort and powerful engine, may to some create a full package already. So well done, Ducati, but again, the cons are coming soon. Now in the fifth spot, we've got a full safety package in DesertX that comes with quartering ABS and traction control. Some competitors don't have them both, so it's important in my opinion to state that Ducati is on top here too. What we've got next is number 6, and it's that DesertX is rather off-road capable, as its handlebar is higher than in most motorcycles in the segment, except for one that's in fact perfect for my height. Check my previous pros and cons video. Still, here in the Ducati, the foot pegs are too high, or the handlebar is just still a little bit too low for me to be fully comfortable when riding and standing on the foot pegs. But there is also huge ground clearance here, so don't you worry about large potholes or speed bumps. And the last, 7th pro, is that nice matte paint. I mean, just look at it. To me, it gives a very premium look and literally premium feel. Very nice, and I do appreciate that. Still, it is a matter of taste, I get that. So now it's time to get to the cons, and while the pros are strong, the list of cons seems rather long, and I don't seem to be able to shorten it, as every point here may mean a lot to some of you guys. Let's proceed with the first one, which is about the powerful engine that's still shaky and is still choking under 4,000 RPM. It is a similar story as with a sibling of this DesertX, so Ducati Multistrada V2. However, here in DesertX, the sloppy behavior is not as bad as in the Multistrada V2. Still, it doesn't inspire with confidence and forces you to keep the engine in the range above 4,000 RPM, which is not ideal always. Next, there is a connected point, but it applies uniquely to DesertX this time, despite being around the engine again. So in the beginning, when the engine would be still cold, it would drop RPM to levels that are definitely too low for the motorcycle, for the engine to be healthy. It also would not be as responsive to throttle because of that, and it would feel like it would be about to die anytime. Definitely not giving much confidence again. And to top that off, it wouldn't start the engine in the beginning in the first attempt. I have to try once again and only then it would fire up. So not ideal, again, not the best start. Then the third con is a not exciting exhaust sound. And you would expect a lot from a decent Ducati V2 engine that is almost going extinct. Let's stick to that almost, and let's cross out going to. Let's hope it stays. But here it sounds like a Boxer in the beginning, like a Boxer engine from BMW with that mechanical noise, or like a Fiat 126P. A missed opportunity, but perhaps it's gonna be better with an aftermarket exhaust. I would definitely try that. Otherwise, what good is there in having a V2, in fact? Fourth point on the list of cons is bad quick shifter that requires being kicked and is harsh to use. Not enjoyable to me at all. I would end up not using it still at all. Then the fifth disadvantage here is that the bike is not the easiest thing to control and handle at the lowest speeds when maneuvering. So getting back to that point of handling and that one spot where it's not that close to perfection. Here it could be partially because of the position that forces you to lean forward slightly, and simply its balance then isn't perfect. The bike's and your balance aren't perfect. It's just for you to know. Now speed up and it's going to be quite good. So in the sixth point on the list, I've got to mention that the DesertX is quite top heavy and its seat is high enough to make you consider it an issue if you don't have legs longer than mine. So if you're not tall enough, reaching the ground may be less than a perfect experience. I am 1.83 meters tall, or 6 feet tall for the record. Then seventh point on the list is Ducati's specialty. So super numb throttle that's, well, of course, ride-by-wire. I very much hate how Ducati implements it in its motorcycles, and they are truly determined and consistent with how disconnected it feels in next motorcycles. This really bothers me, and it actually makes my heart break. I would expect an Italian motorcycle manufacturer to do all that is possible to make their riders feel as connected with the machine as possible. But no, not here. Number 8 is that after a while, once the engine gets warm, then it gets hot, and along with that your body gets hot too, as the engine is not handling the heat well, so it transmits it onto you. For city rides, it's an issue that can become quite an extreme issue, so I would say definitely try it in an environment that you will, or you expect you will be riding it the most. It shouldn't be a big deal on a highway, but if you're going to ride in the city, if you're going to be passing through the cities or live in a warm country, it is definitely a red flag at least. The last 9th point on the list of possible cons of Ducati DesertX is, to me, that the display stuff on it is so small and so far away that I am not able to see much on it. I don't ride wearing glasses. It can be frustrating and is just, I think, missing the point of having all that information if you can't really see them very well. So now, after all that, I hope that it is useful to you guys and it points you in the right direction to pay attention to those specific pros and the specific cons that may be key for you. Do check my full review of Ducati DesertX that is linked in the description to learn more about what it's like to ride in detail, and subscribe to see next summaries like this one, along with head-to-head comparisons of motorcycles from this segment, which are coming.